Howdy everybody out there in YouTube land. My name is Shard. Welcome to Deep Dive of 5, Volume 8. I've got 5 CDs here. I'm just going to have a look through these. These are out of the box that I pulled out of the bottom of my wardrobe. It's been sitting there for a while. Just take a break. I know it seems like the world is exploding / imploding / not normal but not unnormal at the moment with all the things going on. So just take a few minutes, come and chill with me. I'm just going to talk about some CDs, man, and music and just like the healing power and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, what I do, I take 5 CDs out of the box, out of my CD collection that has been mothballed for a long time. Let's go through them. A little bit of history, personal history with them, as well as the history of the albums. So yeah, just take a seat and chill with me. Deep Dive 5, Volume 8. Number 1, off the top of the list. It's not in any sequential order or anything like that. The Doors. The best of the Doors. This is a fantastic 2 CD album. I think this was a big kind of influence on me back in the 90s. Not that this came out in the 90s. The album came out, I think it was the late 70s or early 80s or something. So the LP was out for a long time. This got released in 91. I kind of got introduced to the Doors through a friend of mine. Shout out to Daniel. And my father had an 80s very best of the Doors or something like that, a cassette. It only had like 10 songs on it. But I thrashed that album. I thrashed it. And then this came out in the 90s, and I can't remember where I got this from. But it's if you don't know the Doors, it's just one of the biggest bands of all time. It's a great introduction to them. It's a great piece of media for people who love the Doors. They were all of their stuff was remastered from the late 90s or so. So these ones sound a bit weird, like not weird, they're just not as mastered as they are now. So if you want kind of like a dirtier kind of version of the Doors, this is a great compilation. It covers all their albums, all the Jim Morrison albums. It's got a couple of extra tracks that weren't on the LPs back in the day. Not that that's really relevant anymore. I don't know, is this out on vinyl? I don't know. But it's got like all the songs you would expect to have on the very best of the Doors, and none that aren't. So it's got Break On Through, of course, Light My Fire, Strange Days, People Are Strange, 5 to 1, The End, LA Woman, Riders on the Storm. I'm going to put this on after I've finished recording here, once I start editing, because just saying those track names just brought them all back to life in my brain, and I haven't listened to the Doors in a while. One of my favorite Doors albums is their live one, Absolutely Live. Oh, I love that. It is such a good album too. You'll find this around and about. I've seen it a lot less of late. I remember seeing it around a lot back in the early 2000s. But yeah, not around very much, especially not in that kind of, back before they found out that you could put 2 CDs into one case. This is the way it went. And it took up a lot of space. And you got the CD storage things where you push them in and you lift them up and it flings out a little bit. And they needed space, like at the bottom, for like 4 of these per 60 CDs. And yeah, I just love the physicality of it. It's almost like a small book. It's got a little essay in here as well, I think. Yeah, from Danny Sugarman, the guy who wrote No One Here Gets Out Alive. If you haven't read that book, top quality book, great book about the beginning, the middle, and the end of the Jim Morrison era Doors. Great album, great CD. I'm love having that in my collection. This one I found not too long ago, a couple of years ago. I am a fan of compilations these days because it's hard getting compilations on streaming because of various copyright issues. So a lot of compilations, well, just the art of the compilation album has kind of disappeared, hasn't it, in this era of Spotify and streaming? You'll get some of the big ones on there, you'll get some soundtracks. A lot of soundtracks are just not available on streaming. So it's another good reason to shop around for CDs. You never know what you're going to find. And I don't know, I had no idea about this one. I was hoping it was going to be something else, but it wasn't. And it's still pretty cool. This is from 1991. It's called Kool Skool. And it's got, dude, it's just what you would expect from a 1991 compilation album. I don't know if you're alive back then, if you were alive back then, if you're a fellow Gen Xer, X-Lennial, that kind of thing. Dude, this is a fantastic time capsule. Let me see if I can read them in this poor light. It's got, Here We Go, Let's Rock and Roll, CNC Music Factory. It's got Freedom by George Michael. It's got LL Cool J, Around the Way Girl. High Tech 3. Lisa and the Cult Jam. I hadn't put those words together in my brain and put them out of my mouth for decades until I found this again. Got an old De La Soul track. Got a Young MC, Principal's Office. Timeless 80s, 90s hip hop there. Public Enemy, Can't Do Nothing For You Man. There's Lisa and the Cult Jam. It's got New Kids on the Block, Step by Step on a hip hop compilation. And at the end, track number 16, Do the Bartman, The Simpsons. That's how much of a time capsule this is. If you haven't seen Do the Bartman, get on YouTube now and watch Do the Bartman. It's like, it just reminds you how old The Simpsons is, and this is from 1991. I don't think I've listened to this album, actually. I did listen. I chucked it on when I first got it. I thought it was going to be something different. I thought it was going to be more of a remix kind of thing, but no, it wasn't. This is pure, unadulterated 1991 compilation greatness. And I'll probably put this on after I listen to The Doors in a bit. I've looked it up online. There is no inherent value in this. Ooh, it is quite scratched. That might be why I have not played it. Yeah, that might be unplayable. It's got these nice circular scratches. Not good with a CD. Not good at all. That might be why I haven't played it. Okay. Kool Skool. Yeah, I just like compilations these days. I never used to like them when I was younger. I always wanted albums. But now, I want compilations. Not all the time, of course. But, you know, I like a good compilation. I'll try and dig out this one I found probably like a year and a half, 2 years ago at the Vinnies, and it's one of my favourite compilations of all time. And it was well worth the $5 I spent on it. Alright, number 3 for today. Tomahawk, self-titled. I am a white male, born in the late 70s. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and so therefore I love Mike Patton. It's just one of the basic philosophical arguments. You're a white male, you like, all white males like Mike Patton. Therefore you are a white male. I'm kidding. Or am I? I love white bashing. It's hilarious. So, Tomahawk were still a super group. I mean, do any Mike Patton projects die? I don't know. It's got, who's in it? Dwayne Dennison from the Jesus Lizard. Mike Patton, of course, from Faith No More, Mr. Bungle, Phantomus, Mondo Cane. Peeping Tom, Dead Cross, Kevin Rutmanis from the Melvins, bassist, and John Stania. Man, I need reading glasses. I'm so old. Here's a drummer from Helmet. Good, solid rock album from 2001. It's got some great songs on here that I still like. 101 North, great driving song. God Hates a Coward, that's really good. Sweet Smell of Success. Yeah, 13 tracks I think on this one, and 2001. Great album. If you're a Mike Patton fan, you probably heard this before. If you if you've never heard it before, it's good, good rock solid album. Wow, where did I get this? Let me cast my mind back. 2001. Did I get this in New Zealand? I think I got this in Australia. I can't remember. The fog of time is too thick on this one. Yeah, Tomahawk. They've got 3 other albums. I got their second one, Midgas. I have not for the life of me heard their last 2. There you go. I don't really like this one. This is Nobody and the Mystic Chords of Memory. It's called Seed. Oh no, it's called Tree Colored Sea. Now, Nobody is a producer, DJ, alter ego of Elvin Estella. He's been around for ages. He's around my age, a little bit, like a year older than me, but he's done so much more with his life. He's been doing stuff for ages, since the early 2000s. And I got turned on to Nobody. When I owned a record store, we had an album of his, Pacific Drift, and I really liked that album. It was something completely different to what I was usually listening to, and since then I've always kind of like held an open mind towards Nobody. And I found this in a box of CDs that was donated to the radio station that I was working at. And if anyone is in the community radio space anyway, or was back in the 2010s, you'll know that people were just not playing CDs. It's an open secret. People were not playing CDs. There were massive libraries at every radio station that were not being utilized. And when people brought in boxes of donations, I just kind of helped myself. I'm sorry, Ossifer. No, yeah. So I took a fair share. I didn't take thousands. I picked through them, and I got some gold, man. I got some gold. I got this one. Nobody in the Mystic Chords of Memory. Mystic Chords of Memory are a duo. I don't think they're doing stuff anymore. They only released this album and their self-titled, or another album from 2003. This came out in 2006. Chris Gunst and Jennifer Cohen. So this is Nobody and them doing an album, and Mystic Chords of Memory are quite psychedelic, trippy, acoustic folk stuff. And Nobody comes along, hip hop producer, and kind of just, they team up. And it's got some great tracks, got some great trippy tracks on it. The opening track, The Seed, is great. Brought in a new sound, is really cool. That was a single off this. And my favorite track on this is track number 5, Memory. I love Memory. Memory is the kind of song I put on when I'm sitting out on the balcony at nighttime and just like looking at the stars. And yeah, it's just a perfect song for that kind of vibe. I think this is on streaming. This is a 2 CD set. It's got a little... See, look at this. Look. 2 CDs. 2 CDs. The March of Technology marches on. So it's got 2 CDs. You fit 2 CDs in there. Actually, I was with my friend. I was with my friend on Saturday, and we're at the Vinnie's up in Springwood, and he got this 2 CD set, and he's just like, how do I open this? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's just like, there's 2 CDs in here. I'm like, okay. So usually they opened from that side, so like a gatefold kind of thing. But sometimes they would open that way. And this one on Saturday opened that way. But this one opens that way, and it's got a little 4-track CD of remixes. Very cool. I love this album. Yeah. And last up today, Badly Drawn Boy, The Hour of the Bewilderbeast. This was his debut album from the year 2000. Sounds so long ago. Won the Mercury Prize. I got this from Dirt Cheap CDs. If you guys knew about Dirt Cheap CDs and the $10 CD blitz that happened in the early 2000s, man, send me the story. Like, yeah, what's your $10 CD story? I got tons of them. I got heaps of Dirt Cheap CDs, man. And you can't for the life of you take these damn things off because they're electronic tags. Because if you walked out with it, it set off the alarm. So they stuck around on your CDs after you got them. Anyway, I've got very fond memories of this album. I remember Pissing in the Wind came out, I think the year before, well, no, the year 2000, oh, I think this is from 2001. Let me check. If I can read it, of course. Anyway, I think this was year 2000. Pissing in the Wind came out. I really like that song. And I went to Dirt Cheap CDs and they had this for $10. And yeah. It's got some great songs on it. It's got Pissing in the Wind, which is, upon reflection, there's lots of better songs on here than that song. The Shining's on here. Bewilder. Fall in a River. I really love that song. Camping Next to Water. I really love that song too. Bewilderbeast, Magic in the Air. Yeah, great album. I never really got much into Badly Drawn Boy's stuff after this. He did the soundtrack for About a Boy. He's done tons of stuff before that, or after that. I saw him live. It was the year I came over, the year after I came over here, 2003. I think it was my first concert in Australia when I moved here. It was at the Enmore Theatre, and there was technical difficulties, and Damon, Badly Drawn Boy, got quite angry and was throwing guitars. Yeah. It was an alright gig. It was an alright gig. The vibe wasn't there, man. The vibe was just not good vibes. But yeah, good CD, very kind of folky, poppy, idiosyncratic, artsy. Won the Mercury Prize, which Mercury Prize, guys, kind of has a curse to it. The Mercury Prize is the big British music prize that they give out every year, and there's a curse, and not many bands really survive it. It's like if you win the Mercury Prize for your debut album, that's it. You're done. And Badly Drawn Boy, he was kind of an example of that. Like, not that he was done, but like he got up and then just Gomez won the Mercury Prize. They kind of they survived it. But yeah, there's a whole list of others as well. You can go and jump online and have a look. So yeah, that's Deep Diver 5, Volume 8. It's a bit warm here today in old Sydney. Well, this is Sydney, this is the Blue Mountains. It's warm up in these mountains. Sweating a little bit. Anyway, I hope you had a nice time hanging out with me. Try not to get too caught up in the media stuff that's going on. I know it's easy, but remember, your attention is all they have, and just chill and spend time with your loved ones and call people that you love, and reconnect and disconnect from so much. You'll be healthier doing that. Okay, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.